Hello. Welcome. It sounds a bit weird, but welcome to my channel. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I just said that. Anyway, welcome to my channel. I am new here to the BookTube community, little corner of YouTube. And so this is me just stepping out and doing something outside of my comfort zone. A girl doing something outside her comfort zone, and we're gonna see how this goes. So I decided to do this for one because I'm in a transitional period in my life where there are some changes. I'm doing it scared, as my personal therapist will say. I'm doing it scared. And so this is one thing that, as many of you guys can relate to, well, those of you guys who are YouTubers, I thought about it, it's crossed my mind. I've always stopped myself from doing it because of imposter syndrome, blah, 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 blah. However, here I am doing the thing that scares me. I have rediscovered my love of reading, and it's a whole vibe when you can talk about your books to people that understand. So that's why I'm doing it, right? So I'm a bit late. Like, we're in October. Literally, the month is about to wrap up, and then we'll be in November, and then December, and then we'll be in 2025. So I'm going to just make this brief. I'm going to discuss the books that I have read thus far in the month of October. And so obviously in the month of October, especially most booktubers that I watch, of course, it's more so the horror, the fall, the vibes of things of that nature. And that's just not what I went on specifically for my month of October. My channel, or what I envision right now in this moment, it's going to be a bit different. I have succumbed to some pressures from whether it's lovely booktubers that I watch. Of course, I may see some things on Bookstagram. I'm not really a person that goes on TikTok, but those books that are like raved about, super popular, I tried to read some of those and hadn't really, I guess, aligned with the hype. And so I really just want to read books that really are not talked about, or really does not have that much hype, or has been out a little while, and people have kind of forgotten about them. Not necessarily saying that this is what's going to be what this specific video is about, but again, that's my overall envision. And so again, just to kind of jump into the books that I have read thus far. I've only read 3 books for the month of October. Also, another thing, I am not a person who can read 8, 9, 10 plus books a month. I also want to normalize, like, whatever your reading pace is, that's your reading pace. So I love audiobooks, and that's really my thing. That's what really helps me, like, get through, because I can do like a lot of other things with it. Anyway, the first book, I do not have the physical copy of this, so I will just put it somewhere right here, wherever the BookTube guys help me put it. The first book that I read for the month of October is book 2 of a series, actually, is Finlay Donovan, Knocks 'Em Dead. Y'all, Finlay Donovan is a cute little book series. The first one, I gave it 5 stars. The second one, I gave it a 5 star. It's not like it was literary perfection. I think those of you who get it. It's not that it was that. It's just I really had a good time reading it, and just being with Finlay and her shenanigans, and everything that was just going on with it. I just really enjoyed it. Finlay Donovan. So, long story short, book 1, Finlay Donovan is going through a divorce. So at this time, she's like a struggling writer, has children, and then her babysitter ends up having to cover some things up, right? So kind of like a crime. That's book 1. Book 2 is obviously a continuation of that. So Finlay and Vero, which is kind of now her best friend, because like it's in like a nanny role, but like now partner in crime, best friend type of thing. They are in the, again, they are in the shit. Okay? And so what it says for Finlay Donovan knocks them dead. Oh, I'm not gonna read all this. Finlay Donovan is once again struggling to finish her next novel and keep her head above water as a single mother of two. On the bright side, she has her living nanny and confidant Vero to rely on, and the only dead body she's dealt with lately is that of her daughter's pet goldfish. On the not so bright side, someone out there wants her ex-husband Stephen out of the picture permanently. Whatever else Stephen may be, he's a good father, but saving him will send her down a rabbit hole of hit woman disguised as soccer moms and a little bit more involvement with the Russian mom than she'll like. I'm gonna read the rest of it. Meanwhile, Vero's keeping secrets and Detective Nick Anthony seems determined to get back into her life. He may be a hot cop, but Finlay's first priority is preventing her family from sleeping with the fishes. Going back. Meanwhile, Vero's keeping secrets and Detective Nick Anthony seems determined to get back into her life. He may be a hot cop, but Finlay's first priority is preventing her family from sleeping with the fishes. And if that means bonding a few, doesn't say bonding. And if that means bending a few laws, then so be it. With her next book's deadline looming and an ex-husband to keep alive, Finlay is quickly coming to the end of her rope. She can only hope there isn't a noose at the end. Again, it's not like, I don't even know what you would consider literary perfection, to be quite honest, so I have no book to reference it. However, for me, for Shay, it was a good time. It was a nice little kiki. It was a nice, like, you got yourself into some shit again and now you have to get it out, get yourself out, and I just really enjoyed it. So there's the first book of the month of October, I almost said November, that I read. The second book is A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. I'm so sorry, I did not say who Finlay Donovan's was by. That is by El Casamino, if I'm saying that correctly, please forgive me. Long story short, kind of without honestly like reading the entire synopsis at the back, but it is about Chloe Davis. So as a child, and she has a brother, their dad was accused of like these murders of young ladies in their town. Obviously he was found guilty, he was taken to jail. Several years later, she's now an adult. She is a practicing psychologist in the state of Louisiana, and life is great, right? She's engaged. Her and her brother are still relatively close. She doesn't have a good relationship with her mom because after her father was, I guess, found guilty, she kind of went down the drain, spiraled, right? And so planning a wedding, you know, has a great career, all of that. However, of course, several years later, these same similar deaths and murders of, can you say murder? Can you say killings? of these young girls come up again. And so she is dealing with kind of like anxiety, flashback, PTSD, and things of that nature, and pretty much like reliving it, right? But again, who could be doing it because her dad is incarcerated? And so it just kind of takes you through that. And to be quite honest, it was good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I remember tweeting like, I think I know who did it, and if I do, and it's that, I'm gonna be real mad, because I was on the edge. I did not figure it out. And so to me, it was a good time. I gave this also 5 stars. I just watched the video earlier today. She did not enjoy it. I think she gave it like a 3 maybe. And I gave it a 5 because again, it doesn't take much to please me when it comes to these stories. If I'm clutching my pearls, like, it's a good time, right? You know, I guess this was my spookiest book so far in spooky season. Good book, 5 stars, 5 stars. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That girl, Evelyn is that girl. Let me get the book because I have it right here. Taylor Jenkins Reid, the Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was a time. I would say this was a time I also listened to this audio. And I'm so glad I did, just because, you know, the production of audiobooks can make it 10 times better, right, than just your reading experience. At least that's what it was for me. And so, yeah, it was just like the accents and, I don't know, it was just everything. It was just good. It was good. Anyway, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So pretty much Evelyn Hugo was came up in like the 50s era of like Hollywood. So that type of Hollywood movie star. As she's now older in age, she wants someone to write her autobiography pretty much. So she specifically asked for this one journalist. This journalist is like, I have no idea why she's choosing me. However, she agrees to do it. And so Evelyn is like telling all of her business. Evelyn is a messy woman. She is messy. Like, I understood why she did the stuff, but I'm like a person who, I just have morals, I guess would be the right word. I just have morals. So like, there's just some things where I'm like, girl, what? But again, she was messy, but I appreciate learning about her story. The writing is great. The writing is magnificent. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid, and there's actually another book of hers that I'm going to mention. So this is gonna kind of be like my October, not necessarily a wrap up, but like what I read so far in the month of October, because I have one more book I do plan on reading that I haven't started yet. And then I also guess I'll give you guys like some of my faves so far of the year of 2024, since I'm doing this so late. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Just the emotions that I experience throughout the book is also kind of like what is causing me to really love and enjoy this book. If you read this, then you know. It's kind of like that, if you know, you know. But if you haven't, please, 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 please read this sometime soon. I did not give this book a 5. I gave it a 4 stars. I gave it 4 stars, and I think I gave it a 4 stars because I was comparing this book to another Taylor Jenkins Reid book that I read that like truly blew my mind. So that's really the only reason, but it is magnificent. So far, those are the only books I've read in the month of October. Y'all, I just remembered. Technically, those are the only books that I read in the month of October, but there's a book I did try to read, and it didn't quite make it. So there are a lot of you guys that are going to not like what I say. Just please don't bring no pitchforks here, okay? Don't chase me with pitchforks. Okay, I'm gonna show you. The 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I don't even know what to say. I was like, oh, it's cute. Like it was giving me like, oh, okay, it's good. And then I started the audiobook, and then I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I kind of just decided I didn't want to do it anymore, so I just stopped. And because of that, I DNF'd it, and it sucks because I really did want to read this one, because obviously, right, a lot of book girlies, and guys who've read it, like, they loved it, but I don't know, maybe in a different season. Maybe I'll try it again in spring. So that truly wraps it up. I want to talk about 2 of my favorite books of the year so far in 2024. Another Taylor Jenkins Reid book, After I Do. Yeah, I gave it 5 stars, of course, but it's more so like, for me, like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 100. This is a great book. You guys, I cried. And I'm a crier, so I'm like, I cried. It is such a good book. It is just about the ups and the downs of marriage. For those of you guys who have not read this, I'll just read the back for you. It says, when Lauren and Ryan's marriage reaches the breaking point, they come up with an unconventional plan. They decide to take a year off in hope of finding a way to fall in love again. 1 year apart and only one rule: they cannot contact each other. Aside from that, anything goes. Lauren embarks on a journey of self-discovery, quickly finding that her friends and family have their own ideas about the meaning of marriage. These influences, as well as her own healing process and the challenges of living apart from Ryan, begin to change Lauren's idea about monogamy and marriage. She starts to question when you can have romance without fidelity and commitment without marriage. When love and lust are no longer tied together, what do you value? What are you willing to fight for? This is a love story about what happens when the love fades. It's about staying, y'all. It's about staying in love, seizing love, forsaking love, and committing to love with everything you got. And above all, After I Do is a story of a couple caught up in an old game and searching for a new road to happily ever after. I really tugged on my heartstrings because marriage is work. Marriage is work. Now, of course, in real life, I can't see myself doing what they did, but it's okay, just kind of seeing it unfold and their thoughts and kind of the inner dialogue. It was just perfect. It was great. So this is my top book of the year. So After I Do, please check it out. And now my next book that honestly, they neck and neck. They neck and neck. Y'all, Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. This was a book that I can't remember what booktuber, and this is still when I was kind of discovering. I cannot remember what booktuber mentioned this, but the moment they described it, I immediately put it on my Goodreads TBR. And when I got it, when I read it, audiobook, because I didn't read the physical copy, not even gonna hold you. It was just amazing. Just the unfolding of someone who has been ignored in the town that he was raised in, Archer, right? I will also read the back of this because I ain't even gonna lie, my memory ain't even that good. I just remember that I still love this book and it is still a 5-star. Okay. And I wanted to lose myself in the small town of Pelion, Maine. I hope that's how you pronounce it. To forget everything I had left behind. The sound of rain, the blood, the coldness of a gun against my skin. For 6 months, each breath has been a reminder that I survived and my dad didn't. I'm almost safe again, but the moment I meet Archer Hale, my entire world tilts on its axis and never rights itself again. Until I trespass into his strange, silent, and isolated world, Archer communicates with no one. Yet, in his whiskey-colored eyes, something intangible happens between us. There is so much more to him than just his beauty, his presence, or the ways his hands communicate with me, on me. But this town is mirrored in secrets and betrayals, and Archer is the explosive center of it all. So much passion and so much hurt, but it's in Archer's silence that we might just find what we need to heal and to live. Yeah, it was beautiful. The writing style was just beautiful, and just the way that you're able to experience the pain of both is what really just, again, it tugged at my heartstrings. So this is obviously also a 5-star. These are my 2 top books of 2024. That is that. I think I have successfully reached the end of my first, oh my gosh, it sounds so crazy, of my first YouTube / BookTube video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. But thank you so much for those of you who have chosen to tune in. Please feel free to leave a comment below and tell me if you read any of these books, and if so, what did you think about them? And for those of you that enjoy the 7-year slip, and it's just not in my spirit to finish, give me some encouragement so your girl can finish, because I do want to finish it. I just don't know when I want to finish it. So that's that. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for first of all finding little old me and deciding to press the play button. And I can't wait to talk to you guys soon. Bye. Oh wow, have I only read 3 books? Sorry, y'all. I'm pretty sure that was a package.